Lizzie Borden took an axe, gave her mother 40 whacks. When she saw what she had done, she gave her father 41.
One of the most gruesome crimes in American history occurred on August 4th, 1892, at this home on 92 2nd Street in Fall River, Massachusetts. 32-year-old Sunday school teacher Lizzie Borden lived here with her father Andrew, stepmother Abby, and older sister Emma from 1874 until her parents were brutally murdered with a hatchet in 1892.
On the morning of August 4th, 1892, the Borden family started their morning early. Their maid, Bridget Sullivan, served breakfast as usual to the family, except for Emma, who was away visiting friends, and Lizzie, who decided to sleep in that morning. Joining Andrew and Abby at breakfast was Lizzie's uncle, John Morse, who had arrived unexpectedly the day before. Lizzie had awoken after her uncle left the house for the day. Shortly after, Andrew left to go out into town and attend to some business he had in the area. Mr. Borden served on several bank boards while also working as a commercial landlord. After Mr. Borden left the house, Abby Borden went upstairs to make the bed in the guest bedroom where John Morse had slept the night before. A short time later, Mr. Borden returned home. Lizzie then came downstairs with news that Mrs. Borden had left the house after receiving a note that a friend of hers fell ill. Mr. Borden believed Lizzie's story and went up to his bedroom for only a few moments before returning back downstairs to rest on a sofa in the sitting room. Bridget Sullivan, the maid, was also not feeling well that day, most likely from a recent flu that had made its way to each of the home's occupants, went to her room where she fell asleep shortly after lying down. Bridget Sullivan claims she woke up when she heard Lizzie yelling from downstairs that her father was dead. Lizzie later claimed in court that she had found her father on the sofa covered in blood, his face so disfigured he was unrecognizable. Bridget Sullivan ran to get a friend and the neighborhood doctor. With all the yelling and commotion, it had attracted the attention from neighbors who ended up calling the police. At this point, Abby Borden's whereabouts were still unknown. Lizzie told neighbors outside about the note her stepmother Abby had received from a friend and had left the house that morning. Bridget Sullivan returned with Dr. Bowen and went back into the house to see if possibly Abby had returned. They made their way to the second floor where they discovered Abby Borden laying face down in a pool of blood in the guest bedroom where she was earlier that morning making the bed. Abby Borden had been struck 19 times in the head and back with a hatchet, while Andrew had been hit 11 times with the same weapon. Andrew Borden had been hit so badly, his eyes had been cut in half, and his nose was completely severed from his face. During the doctor's initial investigation, he discovered Abby's blood wasn't fresh, therefore she must have been killed first. At first, the police did not suspect Lizzie as the murderer. Lizzie claimed that she was in the Borden family barn at the time of the crime. As days turned into nights, all clues led to dead ends. While there was no physical evidence linking Lizzie to the killings, the police had come to the conclusion after speaking with all suspects that no one else could have committed the crime except for Lizzie. Lizzie Borden was charged with the murder of Andrew and Abby Borden, and the trial would soon begin. Lizzie never testified, but she was very much the star, as the trial had become a media sensation. On June 19th, after 14 days of trial, Lizzie Borden was found not guilty by a jury and she and her sister Emma were entitled to the family inheritance. Innocent until proven guilty, or guilty until proven innocent? Did Lizzie Borden murder her parents and get away with it? Did her uncle John Morse have anything to do with it? Did Lizzie and her sister Emma, in collaboration, murder for inheritance money? Did an Andrew Borden business deal go wrong? There are many more clues to this case that we didn't have time to get into, and an endless amount of theories. However, this case is still unsolved to this day.
This house where these two brutal murders happened is now open as a 5-star bed and breakfast. Known as one of the most haunted houses in America, you too can now be a part of its history. Sleep in the same bedrooms where the Bordens slept. Stay a night in the room where Abby was hacked to death with a hatchet. Learn its detailed history from the house's extremely knowledgeable tour guides. And after a night of chilling paranormal investigating or just enjoying the sights, eat a delicious breakfast in the same room the Bordens did. Could you survive a night at the Lizzie Borden house?